Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the second week challenge. This is a series of challenges that I'm running in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, following the release of my new kit, Denim Dream. I have 3 challenges throughout July that I am releasing, along with a series of freebies. So I want to show you the freebies that you can find this week. You can grab them either from the Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, or from my Ko-fi page, because I know there are some people who watch who do not have access to Facebook, so you can grab those from my Ko-fi page. So the freebies this week are a denim background page. So we've got some lace in there, we've got some of the darker denim at the top with the stitching, and then some lace down at the bottom. We then have some different style pockets which have some layering pieces, which I'll show you properly in a moment. We've got a film strip that I've put one of the images that are from the main kit inside. We've got a little receipt there. And because in the main kit I also have a mini version of the kit, if anybody wants to make a mini journal, I also have these freebies available in mini, so they have been shrunk down. So the challenge for this week is to make a kind of over the page double pocket. Now I have made a prototype just to kind of help you understand what this will look like. So this is my prototype. So I've got a pocket on one side, a pocket on the other side, and this isn't all stuck together properly, but essentially it would be stuck to the side of the page, and there are a couple of ways that you can do this. This version actually has a paper clip in, so if I open this up you'll be able to see there's the paper clip, and I could glue all this together to kind of seal it up. I just, like I said, I haven't because it's just my prototype. But then we have a pocket on, if obviously this was your journaling page, you've got a pocket on this side. If I just grab a piece of card here, you can see. So there is the layering piece on the front. So we've got a pocket here inside this mini one. The main pocket is also a big pocket. Because I've used a paper clip, you could essentially use this as a tuck spot as well to tuck in tags right at the back. And then obviously as you turn over the page, you've got the same on the other side. So we've got the main pocket, again, behind the whole thing, because there's a paper clip holding it. You could also have it as a tuck. And then you've got this kind of lacy part here that could also be a pocket at the front. You can, of course, decorate this and embellish this further. Because this is a prototype, I didn't really do it fully on this one. I have rounded the corners and I have inked around my edges. But it's up to you whether you want to do a side pocket, or of course you can have it coming over the top of your page. And then obviously you just have your pockets the other way round, so it's this way round. So you can totally play around with these as much as you like. As I said, there is a mini version as well. Instead of a paper clip, you could also have a magnet inside each of these halves, and then it will obviously magnetize together to make it close. So you can do that as well if you want to. So it just depends what you have available in your stash and what it is that you would like to do. So I'm going to show you how to put these together. They are super simple. Now I have printed mine onto 160 GSM paper. It's kind of a slightly heavier weight paper. So normally copier paper is 80 GSM, so it's double that. So it's just a bit more sturdier. I've got my minis and I've got the full size. And then these, what I've done, it would probably work if it was a lighter paper actually. Like I said, I have used 160 GSM, but I have coated them in a wax. It just kind of gives it a nice kind of photo film finish, and it is slightly opaque. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but you can kind of see the shadows of my fingers behind. Like I said, if I probably used 80 GSM paper, which is normal copier paper, and then covered this in wax, it would be more translucent. So but like I said, having the waxy feel I think still is really, really nice. So I'll show you how to make them on the larger version, only because with the smaller version it might be a bit difficult to kind of see what I'm sticking together. So as I said, I've got all of my pieces. So I've got my ticket, I've got my film strip, I've got the little copyright label, and then I've got the elements from my pockets as well. So all I did was simply fold this in half so that it's lengthways. And then this is obviously where you need to decide whether you want your pocket coming around the top of the page or from the side of the page. Now, because I've done one from the side of the page, I think I'm going to go from the top of the page this time. So as you can see, this is a perfect fit for the top of the page. So I'm just going to try and line this up. Just need to see whether this one, yeah, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I just popped on one of the pockets, just checking because I think one's slightly taller. Yeah, this one's a bit taller. So you just kind of gauge obviously the size that you need. And then because this is going to be at the top, I am going to leave a slight gap here. On my prototype, from the edge, I kept it quite close. But here, because this is obviously going to be over the top of the page, anything I slit in this top pocket will be sticking out the top of the book. So that's something you need to kind of be aware of as well. So I'm just thinking if this went into the pocket, I don't mind obviously if it pokes out a little bit, but ideally then I kind of want to make a fold about here. But it's totally up to you. Obviously, like I said, you can play around with your sizes and how you want to do this. So all I did was just kind of fold that over, then going to snip off that bottom part. And you will need to do some trimming and altering as well a little bit later, because if you have a paper clip in, it does kind of shift the paper a little bit. So you might need to do a little bit of extra trimming later. So you have got some scraps which could actually be made into a nice little tag, so I might keep that. So this is what we've got, and like I said, I'm going to have mine over the page. So obviously you need to decide what it is you want to see. So I think I might go with the darker denim rather than the lace, but it's entirely up to you. And then you're going to pop in either your paper clip or your magnet. So if I was going to do magnets, I would put one inside here, and then one inside this opening. Yeah, so you'd have a magnet on each one. Or if you're doing a paper clip, then the paper clip just needs to go on the inside piece. So you just kind of pinch them together, pop your paper clip on, and then just obviously shuffle it to the center. I've got mine on the wrong way, I think. That's it. Yeah, and then you just need to move it more to the center. I mean, obviously if you want, you could have two paper clips, one at the top, one at the bottom, but you will notice once the paper clip goes in, because of the way that it's holding the paper, and obviously it's going to push this inside paper out slightly, you will then have this bowing. So all you need to do is just flatten that back down so that it all fits nicely. And then this is where I said you're going to need to do some trimming, because that paper clip just pushes the paper out slightly. Okay, so I'm just going to use a bone folder as well, just to really make sure that that is flat and creased, and then I can trim that bit. Okay, so it is just a little bit off the end. Okay, the next thing I want to do is round my corners. So I've got my corner rounder here. And I just used the 7mm one, but obviously if you don't want it quite so round, you can go smaller or larger if you want it even more curved. Okay, so that's the base so far. So the next thing that I will probably do then is to glue this down to kind of seal in the paper clip. So I'm just going to seal that side closed, and then flip it over. I'm going to do the same on this side. Okay, so that's our base, and then it just opens up in the middle, obviously with our paper clip here up at the top. Obviously if you've got the larger paper clips, then that might help as well, but I find a small one is still just as fine. So I'm just going to pop the lid back on that very quickly. And then it's just about adding your pockets. So we've obviously got this one that has the lace, and then I've cut out the layer that goes over the top. And then it just looks like one pocket, or one large pocket, but obviously it's got this nice layering piece as well. Before I stick it down though, I am going to ink, so I'll ink the base first. Again, inking is totally optional. I quite like the grungier look. But like I said, when I was designing this kit, I was kind of making it so you could have two options. You can either go quite grungy with it, or because we've got a lot of the lace, you could add your more lace to it, make it a bit more sort of shabby looking. It totally depends on your style. So I'm going to ink these as well. Okay, so we've got that one, and I'm going to ink this. Yeah, I just find it's easier when it's on 160 GSM. Just makes the pockets a little bit more sturdier. I tend to do my ephemera on 160 GSM. My normal journal pages I just do on 80, which is just standard printer paper. But for things like this, I do like it just that little bit sturdier. And it's not overly thick or anything. Okay, so they're going to get layered like that. I do also have some cheesecloth here, which I might snip off and just add to it as well. I'm just going to make it a little bit more sort of tatty. Okay. So I think I'm going to have it something like that. So I'm just going to lay that on there. Oh, actually, I'm probably going to want that completely stuck to the pocket, aren't I? So let's so I'm going to do that, but then I'm going to pick it up and flip it over because I need this to be stuck to the back of here, but obviously I don't want that glue seeping through and then sealing my pocket shut. So I'm going to stick this down, then I can put this to the side to dry a second. I could essentially actually put a piece of paper over the top, couldn't I? Just to kind of seal that in. Okay, I've got this cut off from my prototype, so I might stick that over the top. Doesn't matter if it's not like edge to edge. So I'm going to glue that and stick that over. It's just so that when I slide things into the pocket, they're not then getting caught on the cheesecloth. You could also use washi tape as well, but like I said, I've got this from my prototype left over, so may as well use this. Then at least when I'm sliding things in, it's not getting caught on the cheesecloth. So that's better. Oh, getting cheesecloth stuck to my jumper though. Right, okay, that's better. So now we can stick that down. So just some glue along the edges. And then sticking that down on here. Okay, there's one pocket. Just making sure that I had it the right way up then. I was worried I might have had it upside down for a second. And then I'm going to glue this pocket. Okay, so that just lines up nicely like that. Now, because this is quite a decorative pocket, I'm not going to add anything more to this one. So I'm going to leave that one as it is. And then if we flip over, we've obviously then got this side. So I've got this pocket. Now this does have a kind of torn fringe look at the bottom. So you have a couple of options. You can either chop that off, or if you've got any fancy scissors that do a kind of deckled edge, you can use those as well. So that's what I'm going to quickly fetch. I've got these scissors which do a kind of fancy edge. So I'm just going to trim along the bottom, just to again give it that kind of, I mean these scissors aren't that great actually, but even with a torn look it just makes it look a little bit better than just a straight scissor edge. But it just gives it that rough look. That'll do. Okay, then I'm just going to sweep some of this rubbish away. And again, I'm going to ink around. And my little pocket. Okay, so this is going to pop onto there. We're going to have that one on the front. Again, I do want a little bit of cheesecloth poking out. But I think I'm going to keep this one more to that sort of bottom edge. Let me just check. So this edge. So I'm just going to put some glue along here. Just get that bit glued down. And again, using a little bit of this. Just want to be able to flatten down that bit of cheesecloth. Just so that when I put things in, they're not getting caught up in it. Something like that. Right, let's just make sure I've got this again the right way up. That's going to go that side. I'm just going to make a border again. Okay, so we've got that one, and this is going to go on the top. And this one I do want this little copyright bit on there as well. Might have it coming off to the side slightly. I'm just going to ink that again. And then just line that up on the front. Okay, and then there is my pocket, so we can start adding some bits in. So I'm just going to do that ticket. That can perhaps go in there. We've also got this, which we can make into a tag. So let's glue that closed. Okay, excellent. And I think I might round the corners on this too. And I have one of those slotted punches. I'm just trying to decide what way up do I want it. Okay, so that's created a little slot for me. That can be a tag that goes in there. I can put some ribbon in that in a second. On this side, I think I'm going to have my large waxed film strip. And then what can I put in this little pocket? Okay, so I've got some different washi stickers. These could go in here as well, actually. So I'm thinking maybe these two can... Actually, it's probably only going to have room for one, isn't it? So one of those in there, and maybe on this side. I quite like that boot as well. But yeah, so essentially that's what we're making. So you can pop this onto the top of your page, just like that. You can see things poking up, but obviously we don't mind that in junk journals. But yeah, I really like this, and I think they look really good. It's another way to add pockets to journals, and the nice thing is they are removable, so maybe you're putting something in there that you want to use for a future page, then you can just sort of carry the ephemera over to the next page, or wherever it is that you're going to use it in your book. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy this challenge and the freebies. Just a reminder that you can grab these in my Facebook group Non-Stop Papercrafts or on my Ko-fi page. I really can't wait to see how you embellish your pockets and what you do with them. I've still yet got to play with my mini version, so I'm looking forward to that. As I said, you don't have to use paper clips. You can use magnets if you have those in your stash. I think I might actually try magnets for my mini one, and then I'll show it in the group how I got on with that one. But these are such fun, and like I said, I do like the fact that you can move them around in your journal. When you do post in the Facebook group, please make sure that you are using the hashtag nonstoppapercrafts Denim Dream. At the end of the month, I will be doing a winners drawing for all of those that are participating. Whether you're using the freebies or the paid kits, your name will go into a drawing at the end of the month, and you could potentially win a kit from my shop. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.